Day 16. I'm in the sunlight today, which is quite nice. House is empty, so I was able to sit in the living room. What came through today, even that came through, is it kind of gives an impression that I had like a very obvious kind of breakthrough or like a insight. But no, today felt very distracted yet again. 20 minutes in, I got really hungry, so I made some food, and then I did the last hour 40, but someone came home when I had 20 minutes left, so I've really done 20 minutes in an hour 20, but it all adds up. So, but I wanted to address why I'm filming myself after doing these 2 hours, and why I'm talking about whatever I want to talk about, really. And I think recently I've been getting caught in trying to be understood in talking about the stuff that I have been talking about with people. And I've told a few people that I'm doing it 2 hours a day, and I think I noticed the reason that I'm telling them, or the way that I'm telling them, and the things that I start talking about, it feels like it's got an anxious charge, and what's underneath that is a need to be understood, or a desire to be understood. I want to be understood. One of my biggest triggers is being misunderstood, and I think when I started doing this, I was saying that, my intention with this is to build my confidence in myself, to just kind of speak my mind without thinking too much about what I'm saying, and that one of my patterns is to be impressive, and whether or not I achieve that or not, I try to be impressive, and more importantly, I feel like I am not as loved if I'm not achieving that. And this is a way for me to kind of practice feeling just vulnerable and speaking whatever comes through, and not judging it too much. That sounds really nice. But I need to be careful when doing this, because this can very easily, for me, I've realised, turn into another way to be impressive, and that I could use this and be very intentional with filming myself, and this could really help my need to be impressive, because I could choose to bring love to myself if I seem to get it wrong, or I don't say something very well, or if I just don't feel like speaking after my meditation, and I just kind of say I'm gonna leave it there today, or if no one watches these, or if I get some negative comment, you know what I mean. I could choose to feel those triggers that might happen, and grow through them and love myself, and that to be vulnerable is the strength, and that would help me, and I would become more used to the experience of just being raw and unedited. But I could also kind of slip into trying to be a teacher for people, and speaking out insights. And while it would be great if someone watched me talking in these videos and felt like they wanted to start meditating, or felt inspired, or felt like I had helped them in some way, I need to not do it for that reason. And I need to trust that the people who I have spoken to about doing this are on their own journey, and that I am no higher up or better than them in any way, and that God's got them. I think I did a video called God's Got Them, and I need to remember that, because the second I try and share what feels like my truth to someone else, and kind of describe this to them, or try and convince them that this is the way, I kind of say to God, like, no, don't worry about it, mate. I know you've got me, and thanks for that, but I've got this one. I'll take this one. I'll help them. And that also, I think, feeds a story of separation, and that we're all just different people, but there's no separation, and we're all one, So they're held, and yeah, if one of my patterns is to try and be understood, this could easily become another way in which I try to be understood, as opposed to releasing the need to be understood. And I could do that through doing this as well as meditation, and I hope to do that. But I think I just wanted to kind of say that and recommit myself to the reason that I record myself talking. And hopefully this will help me to detach from any result as well. Like, the goal is simply to speak and simply to post it so that I can feel the pattern arise of like, oh, I wonder who's going to see this, or I wonder if it's going to help anyone, or I wonder if I'm going to be understood. And that will give me more things to meditate on the next day, as opposed to the pattern comes up of I want to be understood, and my fix to that is, oh, well, I'll be understood through talking well or getting across my meaning, if that makes sense. Yeah, I'm going to leave it there today, but thank you. Thank you for listening, or not listening, because I don't care, because this is for my release of that control of being understood, as opposed to fixing that need by control.